Peasholm Park, Scarborough, a favourite since 1912 for residents and visitors to relax and unwind, watch the wildlife, or enjoy some boating on the lake. But this lake is also home to a very different kind of boat. Peasholm has its own fleet of warships, each over 20 feet in length, that bring the Battle of the River Plate to life for audiences throughout the summer months. This spectacle has been enjoyed by thousands of people and has run for over 90 years. During that time, audiences have often wondered how the naval battle really works. We're going to take you inside the action of this iconic event, to see the dedicated team at work as they prepare and operate this miniature fleet, and see just what goes into making this such an enduring memory for different generations. Join us as we take a look behind the scenes of the naval battle at Peasholm Park. It's 6:30 in the morning, and preparations are already underway. Decking needs to be cleaned, the warships must all be checked over, and a number of essential jobs done before most park users have even had their breakfasts.
We need to make sure all the motors work. If there are things that didn't go off the previous show, we'll check all the connections to make sure. Well, first job, we put these wires out, because it's the hardest thing, and rowing around the lake at 6 in the morning. But then the wires sink to the bottom, so they don't, the pedalers don't catch them. So when the park shuts, I can just pull them in.
Before every battle, the wires have to be laid out in different directions across the lake, ready for attaching to the 2 drone boats and the submarine. The winches that operate the drones are tested, and later in the day they will be hooked up to the drone vessels. Long lengths of electrical cable are then plugged into the drones and laid out across the island. These carry the firing signals from the control panel to the onboard chargers.
I don't actually pilot a boat anymore in the show. I run things from the shed. I have control of the 3 drone boats and all the front guns and effects.
Once all of the electrical cables, the control wires and effects are in place, the drone boats will then be towed to their starting positions and attached to the lines, ready for battle. During the naval warfare, signals are sent from the island directly to the drones, resulting in a series of dramatic explosions. Inside the destroyer, a heavy weight is balanced on a support mechanism. As the explosives blow away these supports, the weight shifts sideways and the destroyer lists dramatically to starboard, stricken in the water. But there are more than just remotely operated drones in the naval warfare. The lake is also home to several much more manoeuvrable craft, all under the control of their own human pilots. These boats work in a very different way to the drones, but require the same level of careful preparation before every battle.
Well, they're battery powered.
Yeah.
They are 50 volt DC motors, so there's four batteries in each, 4 car batteries in each 12 volt batteries, so yeah.
And at the end of the season, what happens to the boats?
Well, we lift them out of the water via tractor, and then they just go up in storage, just for the winter, so we can, have a fix, see what's wrong, see what, there's lots of explosions, so they're all dinted and war wounded and all that. So yeah.
And a lot of maintenance needed at the end. There's a lot
of maintenance. Yeah. I mean, they're only plywood, really, at the end of the day. So they've been sat in the water for 3 months. So that's the main.
Not only do the structures and motors need checking, but each boat also carries an array of explosive effects, all controlled from inside.
Well, the firing system in each boat, it's a plastic box about that square. There's a rotary switch in the middle, which is connected to a multi-cable which goes to each effect all around the boat. And whoever's in the boat, they turn the switch to whichever effect they want and press a button. But there's a jack plug at the end for safety. If that isn't in, nothing will fire. So you have to make sure that all the pilots sort of thing know, put that jack plug in before you set off. And then that's how it works. You just wait while you get the appropriate cue, turn your rotary switch to whatever effect you want and press the button. And that's how they all work. They're all the same.
From 6:30 in the morning, alongside the wiring of the drones, each of these boats has to be checked and fitted with charges and effects, both above and below the waterline.
I think they're surprised, even when they come and see it. I don't think, until you hear that first gun go off and the explosion afterwards, I don't think you really, I don't think anyone realises what actually happens,
There's also action in the air above the water, as Peasholm boasts its own squadron of model bombers to support the fleet below.
Right, well, this is one of them, and all we do is the wires that come down from the top of the bank to there, and they just go on, they sit on the wire, they're on a couple of pulleys, and you launch it down as hard as you can, and hopefully it'll reach the bottom.
Most of this preparation takes place under the very noses of park users, many of whom are oblivious to the hive of activity on the island. Finally, once all the charges have been set and this extraordinary miniature fleet is in readiness, the rest of the crew arrive from the boat deck as the park is briefly closed for final preparations. The crew take their places inside the boats as the crowds gather for the show. There's not much room inside, just enough to reach the steering pedals, firing mechanisms, and speed controls. And the view from inside, once the lid is closed, leaves a lot to be desired. It isn't easy piloting a 20-foot battleship when this is your view of the world. The audience are ready. The boats, the aircraft, and the support team are ready. The outriggers with their underwater explosives are lowered into place. Smoke canisters are placed in the funnels. And the boats move out to start the show. It's a huge team effort on the island to get each boat out smoothly for their first appearance. Alongside 7 crew in the boats is a team of at least 5 others keeping things moving smoothly in the background. And so the world's smallest serving navy takes to the water again. When out of sight of the audience, the boats circle the island, awaiting signals from the support crew. And then it's full steam ahead into the naval warfare, inspired by the Battle of the River Plate. The drones and the piloted boats interact in perfect unison. But not without the pilots getting wet from time to time. The aircraft are launched from the hillside above the park to synchronize with the explosions below. And they are safely intercepted on the island. Meanwhile, the boats are now taking new positions as the battle continues. The pace picks up as the destroyer drone is confronted by the fleet. And the enemy is defeated. Finally, the enemy base is bombarded with a spectacular array of fireworks and effects. The Union flag is raised on the island, and the fleet perform a lap of honor for the crowd. Then it's back to the island. Time to safely store the boats away. Retrieve the drones from across the lake and return the aircraft to storage, ready to fight another day. All in a day's work for the extraordinary team on the naval battle at Peasholm Park.